I'm Todd Bingham, President and CEO of the Utah Manufacturers Association. Welcome to this week's UMA on the Hill. We're on the west side of the Capitol today, and we're going to talk briefly about the sets of guardians that are outside the Capitol. There's two pair of lions on both the west and the east side of the Capitol, and they were originally built in 1915 out of concrete and cement. And over a period of years, these lions began to deteriorate. So in 1977, they came in and did a refurbishment of it and fixed those lions. But in 2004 to 2008, when they did the retrofit and the full restoration of the Capitol, they found that they were too deteriorated at that point to be able to do a second renovation on them. So an Italian sculptor came in 2006 and sculpted these lions out of marble. There are four of them, as I indicated, two on the west side of the Capitol and two on the east side of the Capitol. And they are sculpted in different phases of a lion's life. And so you've got a young lion and then a middle age, and then as they get older, the mane gets bigger. Their names are Fortitude, Patience, Honor, and Virtue, and they are the guardians to the Capitol. So now you know another little thing about the state Capitol. Talking briefly about some of the bills that are going on, we've got a couple of big issues this week that we've been working on. One is HB 60, House Bill 60, which is a vaccine passport bill. The challenge with this bill is that it really dives into the relationship between employers and employees, and it really gets into the information that an employer can ask an employee when they hire them. Our concern as a business organization is that this delves into that privacy opportunity between an employee and an employer, and it really gets into that relationship with them. It's really posing some challenges on companies trying to address culture and recruit the right types of people to come to work for them. So we're opposed to this bill, and we believe that manufacturers ought to be able to have a relationship with their employees, and they ought to be able to develop that relationship as individual companies. We do not need a government mandate telling us how companies should operate with their employees. Secondly is a bill we've been working on, which is House Bill 408, which is a product liability bill, which actually kind of flips on its head civil action. An individual could come to a company and say, I don't need to prove that there's a better design for your product. I just have to prove that I think your design was faulty. So the liability gets shifted and the burden of proof gets shifted even more so against the manufacturer and in favor of someone who might be a claimant or a trial attorney or someone like that. So we're working hard on that bill to make sure that our manufacturers are protected in the development of your products and your liability as you develop products that make our quality of life, that there is some protection for you as a manufacturer. We're into the final stretch of the legislative session. This weekend's President's Day, and Monday the legislature will not be in session. That means next week we've got 4 working days, Tuesday through Friday, and then the following week is a Monday through Friday, and the session ends on March 4th at midnight by statute. So we'll be tracking some other bills, looking at what we address there and how we continue to push across the finish line those bills that are good for manufacturing and how we stop those bills that we believe don't help with the business climate here in Utah for the manufacturing community. Again, I'm Todd Bingham with the Utah Manufacturers Association. Remember, what Utah makes Utah.